So let's talk about electronic waste. All those old gadgets and devices. But here's the thing. We're not just going to look at it as a problem. We're going to explore it as a massive, and I mean massive, untapped opportunity for innovation. Let's dive in and see how we can turn all that digital trash into some serious green treasure.
I mean, think about it. The phone that's probably in your pocket right now or the laptop you're watching this on, they all have an expiration date, right? But what actually happens when they die? Where do they go? That simple question, well, that's at the very heart of everything we're about to unpack. Okay, so first things first, we really need to get a handle on the sheer scale of this issue. We're talking about a literal graveyard of electronics, and it is growing at a pace that is, honestly, it's just staggering. You know what's wild about the research here? It's how it frames the problem. This isn't some yearly report kind of thing. No, this is a constant, non-stop flow. Every single second that ticks by, more and more discarded devices are just piling up all over the world.
And listen, this isn't just harmless plastic and metal sitting there. When e-waste gets dumped or handled the wrong way, it leaches all sorts of toxic stuff into our soil, into our water, causing huge environmental damage. And at the same time, the people who are handling this waste informally, they're being exposed to some really serious health risks. It's a pretty stark reminder that the stakes here are incredibly high for both the planet and for us.
So, the big question is, how do we fix this? Well, the answer seems to be in completely rethinking our whole approach. We've got to move away from that old straight line model of take, make, and then just dispose, and embrace something totally different. And that brings us to the core idea from the research we're looking at. It's a proposal for a sustainable e-waste model, and it's built on these principles of a circular economy. The goal's no longer just getting rid of waste. Instead, it's about keeping all those valuable materials and components in use for as long as humanly possible, through refurbishment, reuse, and recycling. So, what does this actually look like in practice? Well, the model breaks down into 3 pretty logical steps. First, it all starts with formally collecting and sorting the e-waste. Then, any devices that can be saved get refurbished and are given a whole second life. And for everything else, well, that's where the magic happens. All the valuable materials, we're talking gold, copper, silver, are safely recovered and recycled, all ready to become part of brand new products. Now, this is where it gets really, really exciting. Because this circular model, it isn't just an environmental strategy, it's an economic one. This is all about building a brand new economy, literally from our old tech. So what exactly are these green jobs? Well, the source defines them really simply in this context. They're basically any role created to manage this whole e-waste lifecycle in a way that actually helps the environment. These are jobs with a real purpose. And just look at the diversity of these jobs. That's what's so remarkable. This isn't just one kind of role. This model creates opportunities for everybody, from local collectors to skilled technicians, recycling specialists, community educators, even tech developers who are building the systems to track the whole shebang. It's a complete ecosystem of employment. So when you put all of these different pieces together, what you get is a system with benefits that just ripple outwards, touching everything from the environment to the local economy. It's pretty amazing. You can almost think of it like there are 4 key pillars holding this whole model up. You get environmental sustainability, of course, that's a given, but you also get real, tangible socioeconomic development through all those green jobs. You drastically reduce health risks for entire communities. And finally, you get this incredible resource efficiency by recovering valuable materials instead of just throwing them away. They all just reinforce each other perfectly. When you really get down to it, it all comes down to a choice. On one side, you've got the old path, informal dumping, which just leads to pollution, health problems, and wasted resources. But on the other side, we have this new vision, a sustainable model that actually protects the environment, improves health, recovers value, and creates jobs. The contrast? Well, it couldn't be clearer. And that really just leaves us with this one final thought. What if we just stopped seeing old electronics as trash that needs to be tossed? What if we started seeing them for what they really are? The actual raw materials for building a cleaner, a healthier, and a more prosperous future for every single one of us. Just think about that.